So stream has started, and then let me start the stage.
Cool.
Join answering all fitness questions.
I was live.
Going well, actually. Thanks for asking.
Excellent. Hi, Gav. How's it going, man?
Yeah, I don't know if this is a bug on his end. I tested with my alts just before we started, and then I've done the first announcement. Welcome, Cap. How are you doing?
Glad that finally worked.
I can hear you. Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. It's not too much noise,
Welcome.
right?
Welcome,
Not at
everyone.
all.
We're going to be
Hi,
taking your
friends. How you doing?
questions. Really do appreciate everyone joining. This is great and a once in a lifetime opportunity for you to ask a question with a qualified personal trainer with over a decade worth of experience. If you don't have any questions, this is also an opportunity for you to listen in and educate yourself and learn something new. Feel free to raise your hands if you have any questions. Be patient. If you can't speak, feel free to use the text chat. And yeah, we're going to have a really great Saturday podcast. And yeah, and I hope you all have a great day. So, does anybody have any questions? Don't be shy. We're open and welcoming to everyone in the community.
Yep. Any questions, big or small? Any updates? I know I'm eating. I can tell you that as well.
Yeah, feel free to raise your hand. Even if it's not a question, if it's a clarification, we're also accepting updates. So, if you're someone who's regular in the community, you want to get some updates and feedback, we can also go through questions in the forum section. If there's something that you want to
Complaints
talk
about
about,
advice,
life
complaints,
advice.
criticisms, constructive, ideally.
Hello, Lobster. How are you doing, dude?
I love to say, main man's here.
Yep. And then while we wait, I can be going through questions in the server in general. So don't be shy, guys. Just feel free to raise your hand or use the text chat. Go ahead, ask your questions. Like I said, this is a great opportunity for you. You've got a licensed personal trainer here, qualified with over a decade worth of experience. Cool. While we're waiting for questions, I'm going to ask some questions that do occur in the server. If you do have any questions, like I said, raise your hand. You can come up to the panel, and then we'll answer your question. Okay, cool. While I'm getting some forum questions, Chris, I think there's a text question by Austin.
Yep,
Hello,
sure.
Austin.
It's Austin again. How's it going, man? You're here every week. I noticed that during the week, I maintain weight around 337, 340, okay? Bit of fluctuation, but that's pretty normal. But Saturday mornings, I seem to be at my lowest, even after eating wings, cheat meal, the Friday night. That's probably related. I assume it's rest that helps with considering I don't get enough sleep during the week due to stress from work. But what causes me to lose more weight on weekends and during the week? Okay, so good question. It's probably correlated to the cheat meal as well. Check out the calories. You may not actually eating more calories that time. And body weight's a strange thing. So this is why we try to track things over a longer period than just a week. It sounds like you're weighing yourself almost every day, which can be useful sometimes, but also leads to questions like this, and it can be quite anxiety-inducing. So it could be because you've had more sodium, maybe from the wings that night before, and you flushed water out of your system, and that's just representing your true weight loss that time. Otherwise, sleep could be to do with it. If you don't sleep well, you tend to retain more water. So maybe better sleep helps you flush it out again. But realistically, you're not losing 2 pounds/3 pounds overnight. This doesn't happen. It's just how it's manifesting in your body at that time. And it happens to be the lowest point for you that week. So if I were you, I would keep track of that low point and the high point as well, look at an average maybe over the time. But it's not like a technical reason for it, because it just tends to be just where your body's retaining water, I think, more than anything. It's probably related to retaining or flushing out water after the cheat meal on the Friday night. It's my best estimate. What's the lobster doing?
Perfect.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Cool. Yeah, so guys, feel free to raise your hand if you have any questions. Cool. I'm going to go through the forum questions while we are waiting. So, actually, there's a good one. I'm new to fitness. What routine would you recommend for a beginner? Okay, Chris.
Okay. Obviously, this is quite a broad question, but as a beginner, I recommend you doing some sort of, obviously, you have to build some muscle, some strength training. So basically, you don't have a strict routine. If you're a beginner, I recommend going and just trying the exercises out. But I will say, try to train your whole body. To do that in one session, you can do it in a few sessions over the week. But don't worry too much about doing every single body part, but focus on some main movements. So upper body, you want to do some pressing. So that's going to be a horizontal press away from your chest, a vertical pressing, which is overhead, and same for a pull. So a horizontal pull to your chest, a vertical pull down to your body. Then for a lower body, want to go a squat. Ideally, it doesn't have to be with a barbell. It can be with a leg press, something similar, but want to use your legs, bending those knees, and include a hip hinge as well. So it could be a stiff-legged deadlift. It could be something similar to that. So train your whole body, a bit of abs. But if you're a real beginner, don't worry about getting into super strict routine. Don't bother trying to get the perfect routine because, spoiler, there isn't actually a perfect routine. Go in there, figure out the machines you like. Don't be afraid of barbells. Don't be afraid of machines. Don't be afraid of dumbbells. Try it all out. And then once you've established that, got a few weeks under your belt of learning the movements. Also, don't forget neglect bodyweight movements. So if you try those out, if you're not very strong, they can be hard. If you're overweight, they can be hard to start with, but they're always valuable. And then after that, go into a full body routine to start with, or an upper lower split. I tend to like. So train your upper body, then lower body, upper body, lower body. You can do a PPL. So push one day, pull the next day, legs the next day. Those are the 3 ones I recommend starting as a beginner.
Perfect. Yeah, I've got another text-based question. I've been trying to do this as a workout for 6 days in a week. Actually, this would make more sense if I actually send the workout. I'll send the entire thread. Do you still have the bug where it doesn't
Send the
show you the
entire
thread?
thread.
Yeah. I should have
Is it
picked
my
an
bug or is it
easier
your
one.
bug? Is it my bug?
I mean, last week you didn't let me. How did I do it? How did I send it? Because I sent the link and you couldn't see it.
Should I stretch? Is that it? Should I
Yeah, that
stretch?
one. I probably should have DM'd it. Now everyone's just gonna check it. But yeah, it's weird because I thought it was gonna be a question about stretching, but it's actually a review of their workout
Yeah, that
routine.
is a curveball, isn't it? From the title, that is a curveball.
It's one of those clickbait titles, right? Yeah.
I know it worked, didn't it? It worked to be fair. I've been trying to do this workout for like 6 days in a week with Sundays off. Do you recommend doing some stretches beforehand? Okay, there's stretching involved. So it's not even about the routine, it's about stretching beforehand. I've got some stretches from ChatGPT, Boo, to do, but I'm wondering if I even need to. Okay, it's a full routine. Looks like the whole thing's from ChatGPT, but we're not actually being asked about the workout, we're being asked about stretching.
Hmm.
So you can do some dynamic stretching before lifting or exercising, but I wouldn't recommend static stretching. Do static stretching after the workout, before dynamic. So instead of going touching your toes, more of a fluid movement. You can do some arm swings, warm up your body, get it moving rather than something like a hard stretch like that. You don't want to do too much static stretching before. You want to be dynamic to warm your body up, and that's going to reduce the chance of getting injured. So no static stretching. Do that afterwards. Dynamic before, static after. And stretching is good. I will tell everyone to do flexibility because that is my final frontier, I think, for fitness. I don't do much stretching. I probably should do that. So that's a reminder for me to do it. Sad.
Perfect. I've got one that's related to recipes. You're going to enjoy this one since I know you like cooking a lot.
I love it.
Hey guys, I'm looking for a meal that I can eat every day because I prefer it that way. Currently, I'm eating 600 grams of chicken breast, 4 eggs, and 200 grams of low fat yogurt, which are inside of 3 wraps per day. And if my calories allow it, I will drink a protein shake as well. And what type of nutritional advice would you advise to Kim Dongcha?
Okay, cool. So this sounds quite good because you've got a good base of the protein there. So 600 grams of protein, 600 grams of protein of chicken breast, which is what, about a pound and a half, I guess, a pound and a quarter for Americans, I guess. 4 eggs, 200 grams of low fat yogurt. So basically, that's you can build your meals around those, which are inside of 3 wraps a day. Is that the chicken and the eggs and the low fat yogurt in 3 wraps? That's enormous. Yeah, so the main thing I'm seeing is there are no vegetables there are no fruits in there, and there are no carbs, apart from in the wraps, which is fine. So it'll depend on if you want to eat the same thing every day, you can, but your body will respond better if you have some slight variation. You don't need to be eating chicken, broccoli, and rice every day, but you can have a variation of the chicken there. You can flavor it different ways. You don't have the same thing every day, though. It's hard to really say. Get some greens in there. So I recommend getting some spinach in those wraps. I get some bell peppers, maybe some tomatoes. I get some colors. Always good to eat the rainbow, but it is good to have bright colors such as I'm having here in my food. Some good nutrients that way. Eggs, you can scramble them, you can fry them. Always cook eggs. You can hard boil them, which is terrible. I don't like those. You can soft boil them, poach them. The yogurt, you can use it into a marinade for the chicken. You can combine it all together for that. You can have the yogurt with, as I do, I have Greek yogurt, but I have it with honey, a banana, almonds, walnuts, frozen blueberries. So you can't have the same thing every day, but it's also good to have some variations. But any kind of carbs will be good. So get some rice in there if you want to. If you don't like rice, don't eat it. It's fine. It's not obligatory. All forms of potatoes are great. So they can be baked, fried if you want
Show
to,
me.
light fried. You can have them grilled. You can have them mashed, whatever you like. Don't be afraid of potatoes. They're very low calorie and actually very high in nutrients. And the yogurt, yeah, use it as a marinade for the chicken. Make a sauce out of it. You can make a really good yogurt sauce if you have some low-fat yogurt, bit of water to thin it out a bit, salt, pepper, garlic, some cumin, some coriander, like a nice kind of Middle Eastern kind of yogurt sauce. That's really good to do that. Yeah, otherwise I've got some links to some ways to add seasoning to your food without adding calories if you want that. I can put that again. I posted last week. I kind of posted my own content, but people do seem to like that a lot. For the same meal every day,
Perfect.
I recommend some variation, but yeah.
By the way, I've got a really hard question that you probably won't be able to answer. Opinions on the Army Watch 2. I don't know why that's in the question section, but it seems like a troll question.
The people want to know.
Yeah. YOLO and one other person did ask a question in the text chat. I'll just let you finish your grape and we can enjoy reading those ones out from here. YOLO and blue. I think blue as well.
Yep, I see. So
By the way, guys,
blue
if you do have
here.
any questions, feel free to raise your hands. Appreciate everyone who's joined. Thank you all for joining. Podcast is currently being streamed. VOD will be available. And if you don't have any questions, it's a good opportunity for you to listen in, learn some new things, and build up your repertoire of knowledge.
Absolutely. Any questions? No question is too stupid, too easy to answer. If you've got it in your head, at least 20 other people listening, pretending to listen, have the same issue as well, are just too afraid to ask it. It's been 3 months since I went to the gym for the first time. I hope that means you've been training for 3 months. I barely lifted the bar first day. Now I'm doing 60 kg, 1 rep max. Nice. Everything else I also advanced. I can even do 10 reps of dips and couldn't even do one to start with. Excellent, that's really good. Problem is I still can't do any pull-ups without the tape. Do you know how I can do the first pull-up? Okay, really good question, really common question. People love to do pull-ups. It's a very good way of showing your strength. I will quickly add, if you're new to the gym, I wouldn't be doing 1 rep maxes. I'd be trying to keep the reps at least 5 reps most of the time, though I do understand the temptation to for 1 rep max, having been a powerlifter and then a closet powerlifter for a long time. So the question is for pull-ups. Best way to get your first pull-ups is 1, to make sure you're not too fat. The second one is I recommend doing negatives for pull-ups. So that means starting from the top, so getting a step or assist to get to the top position of a pull-up, or chin-up if you prefer, chin-ups being your hands towards you, and then try to lower yourself with as much control as possible, as slowly as possible, and do maybe 3 sets of those, build up to that. You may only be able to do 1 to start with. Try to blow yourself as slow as possible, keeping control on the muscles. So you're slowly going down like that. Can't really visualize it, sorry. But negatives are the best way to build up the strength to do pull-ups. So if you build up to a set of, say, 5 negatives, you've probably got a good chance of doing 1 positive lifting pull-up. So that's what I'd recommend. Try and do some negatives. I don't really like using assisted pull-up machines because it's not really the same.
Perfect. I think Cool has a question.
Lobster.
Or did I miss one?
Yeah. Well, it's lobster, so we worked out lobster. We'll get lobster. Lobster is what we're talking about, though, so we'll go Cool first.
Oh, wow. Sorry, did Lobster ask a question? It's awkward because I always normally expect staff to like raise your hands and come on. Maybe that's why he left. Yeah, answer
That was quite a lot of shade. That was quite a lot of shade.
No, because it's a voice podcast, right? So it's always awkward because I'm always like, scanning. But yeah, answer Lobster.
Okay. So a lobster. Would a certain muscle group grow better faster than others if you eat more after a sesh for recovery compared to other days? Would your intake be lower than usual? Use legs, for example. No, it won't make a difference. It makes sense, and sometimes it used to be a big thing a while ago. Back in the T-Nation days, the T-Muscle days, if anyone hits old enough to remember those glory days. The same reason I don't recommend having high calories on workout days than non-workout days. It's the average over the week. As long as you're getting your protein in, it's not going to make a massive difference. But it's fun to be full, and after it's more technically more after leg day as well. Do we have a staff question in voice now, or am I going to blue?
Yeah, go to blue. Just so it's not awkward. He's listening to us talk about him. Imagine
I
if I'm
don't.
like, no, ignore him. It's just
Nah, I just don't. No,
that's
it's fine.
crazy.
He's still here. It's fine. Okay, so I broke 2 toes and injured the other 3 the other day. What did you do? Good grief. Sorry to hear that. So my foot is basically out of condition for now. What should I
Hi.
do for my workout, or just rest? Are there any fat loss exercises I can mainly for the waist up? I know it's sort of cardio, so probably not, but might as well ask. So there are no really fat loss exercises. Fat loss is down to calorie balance. You can do some cardio, but that's a way of burning calories and making your body more efficient at burning fat, especially through some steady state cardio around zone 2. So unfortunately, you can't target upper body fat loss, I'm afraid. If you've broken your toes, I hope you've been to a medical professional and got their advice on it, but I would be hesitant of using my feet too much if I'd broken my toes. You can do upper body things if you want to, but prioritize getting back on your feet, no pun intended, and recover. Also, mini question, back with the paragraph, I'm sorry, no problem. If I drop the gym for a few days, 2 to 4, more do I eat, would I at least stay consistent with my weight and not gain? Yeah, that's absolutely fine. That won't make any drop. People used to really worry about this. I used to worry about myself having a few days off from the gym, thinking, oh, I've lost all my gains. No, keep nutrition the same, and no one's going to lose any muscle in a week anyway. Even if your calories are through the absolute floor, if you haven't exercised for a week, you're not going to lose muscle that quickly. Muscle is very hard to build. It's also very hard to lose once you hold on to it. So don't worry about that at all. 2-4 days off, especially if you eat well, nothing to worry about at all. You can keep muscle for 2 or 3 weeks, really. People don't like to hear it, but it's true.
Perfect. Sorry for the wait, Gio. I didn't want to interrupt it because normally I try to clip up all the questions. How are you doing, dude?
Okay, I'm in the gym right now, so sorry for my bad mic quality. So my question is, this started happening like very recently. My shoulders, both of them actually, I started really hurting when I'm doing only pushing movements specifically, and with nothing else. It used to only hurt when I bench, and it didn't hurt at all when I did the overhead press. But now it's kind of affected that too. So then I started doing Smith machine overhead press, and then it was fine there for a bit, and then it started hurting there too. So I think I'm gonna need to take it easy. I'm not sure what to do. So my question is, could you give me some general pointers on how I could work around this, maybe fix it?
Sure. So again, not medical advice, not a medical person. I'm a fitness coach, fitness trainer. But it sounds like there's probably an imbalance for the pressing / pulling in your routine. So I it's very common, but I presume you're doing more pushing movements than pulling movements. So I tried to address that first of all. So either light face pulls, some seated rows, I think are a really underrated exercise. Doesn't have to be super heavy, but get some reps and get some volume in. To basically build up the back of your body to balance out all the pressing. So that means your mid traps often. People tend to work the upper traps a lot, but the mid traps get really neglected, which are the muscles between your shoulder blades. Makes you look thick from the side. Very rare to see that development. And also the rear delts. So do sort of the face pulls. If you've got a light exercise band, I recommend really high rep band pull aparts. One of my favorite exercises, just for shoulder strength and stability. You can also do it above the head, so hold the band and then extend it down. Make sure you're tucking your shoulder blades together. So I will say also check your form for bench pressing and all sorts of pressing. Make sure your shoulder blades are tucked together for a safety position. Again, not a medical professional, so I recommend talking to a medical professional or a physiotherapist if it's still bad. But in the meantime, I'd work on building up my muscle in my upper back, my rear delts. Maybe take a step away from proper pressing for a while and instead do some isolations instead. So you know what isolations are, but instead of like a bench press, you could do some flies to a pec deck machine and some tricep extensions and then maybe some front delt raises if you can. Just build up the muscles in a different way. It will still build up strength to be better in the pressing movements and give your body a bit of a chance to recover because your shoulders can be quite delicate if you don't take care of them. Hope that answered it a little bit. Was it helpful at all?
Yeah, I'll take what you said into consideration and practice. I'll see if I think I'll do face pulls a lot more. I'm gonna try that first.
You can even try
And
them
see-
between sets of bench, just on things like that, just to get some extra reps in to really activate the shoulder blades, make retracted back,
Yeah.
work on the rear delts and traps. It'll make a
I'll
difference, I
get
think.
back to you in a few weeks. Thanks
Yeah,
a
let me
lot.
know. Malcolm, man, thank you for the
Okay.
questions. Thanks for showing up.
Perfect. Thank you very much,
That-
Gio.
that's it for
People
me.
are asking in the chat. You sound like you've been crying, or you're crying. Are you all right? Is everything good, or is it just the
Like
workout
I'm crying.
intense? No.
Uh,
Lobster said it
I'm not.
sounds like Gio's about to cry, but I'm just joking around.
My body is crying out sweat
Oh,
and
okay.
sweaty. I need.
Okay, right. Enjoy your
Okay,
workout, mate.
I'm going back to my workout now.
No worries.
Thanks for asking.
Perfect. See you, dude. A good segue question that I've got is how often should someone deload, and when do you know when to deload?
Okay. This is a tough one to generalize, but if you find yourself hating going to the gym, if you normally enjoy the gym, if you find yourself demotivated, low energy, it feels like more of a chore than usual, you're probably due for a deload. So it can be a more, you can look at more in measurements. So you can say, oh, my weight's stagnated for a while, or I've got weaker in my bench press, for example, or my squat, and usually it's going up and now it's going down. That's a great sign you need a deload. If you're tired all the time, if training makes you sad and depressed, then it's time to have a deload. But basically, if your enthusiasm is gone and your body feels like it's aching all the time, more than usual, it's time for a deload.
Cool. I've got another one, a really unusual one, but I'm guessing it's one that I guess a few people might have, but we all know the answer to this. Someone is saying how to get rid of leg fat. My whole physique looks pretty good, but my legs are kind of fat. What are the best exercises to get rid of leg fat? I'm already working them out. I just want more effective exercises.
Okay, so this touches on the age-old thing of can we spot reduce fat? Unfortunately, we can't. So you can't say I want to lose fat just on my legs today and do that. That's not how the body works, unfortunately. Your body will lose fat uniformly. And unfortunately, if you have a stubborn area, like your legs sound like, you'll often lose there last. But there is hope. What I recommend in your situation is look into doing some zone 2 cardio. Get some 30 to 45-minute sessions a few times a week. That will make your body more efficient at burning fat. Also get your legs moving more because you'll be doing cardio presumably with your legs. So that could be cycling, slow impact. You could do an incline walk. You could do a rowing machine, for example. I can't because I can't keep myself at a moderate heart rate for that. But if you start doing some zone 2 cardio, it will be able to make your body more efficient at burning fat, and sometimes just getting the extra reps, moving your legs more, will make a bit of a difference as well. Outside of that, you can look at things like insulin resistance and having more cod liver oil and things. That's a bit wishy-washy. I don't really believe it does very much. So if I was in your situation, I would keep the strength training. I'd add some low-intensity cardio after my workout. Make sure you're using your legs for that cardio. It could be a elliptical machine. It could be walking on an incline. It could be a rowing machine. But getting the heart rate to about 130, 150 for a sustained period will make a big difference over time. That's what I recommend.
Perfect. We've got some text questions in the podcast chat. If you go through them, I'll just try and get some additional server-based questions.
Yeah, for sure. Any tips on trying to jump better? I recovered from a knee injury recently. Before, remember that? I'm able to do stuff without my knees hurting. Excellent. I can't jump as high or as agile as I used to. So what would be a good way to become more agile? Okay, two kind of different questions here, but for jumping, I presume we're talking about a vertical jump rather than a long jump or a horizontal jump. In which case, a lot of it's form and practice. So look up stuff by, say, off my head, Joe DeFranco. He does a lot of things on training NFL guys for the combine, which has a vertical jump component. So make sure your form is good. Form is the most important thing to look at. So make sure your form is good, first of all. Then work on building up your hamstrings, quads, and calves. When you're training it, do low reps. Do not do a set of 10 vertical jumps because it's poor quality. For power, you want to have long rests and low volume. So maybe do 1 or 2, up to 3. Properly rest in between 5 minutes and then go again. And if you're going to be training your jumps, I would do them before strength training or on a separate day. You've not trained the legs the day before. What am I eating? So here is my food for today. Here's my snack. Tip my laptop on it. So I can't really see. It's going to pour it all out if I show you. But I have grapes, and I have cherries, and I have kiwi, and I have some dark chocolate. But that's answered everyone's important questions for that. Lobster again. Or just said, how do you know if you've got weak, undeveloped rear delts? Any correlation with the exercise might indicate it. I don't really work mine besides for rows and pull-ups, so I'm wondering if there might be an issue why I can't shoulder press right now because of a right shoulder impingement, or a issue, whatever's going on there. Tried stretching it with a towel around the world, shoulder stretches, helped, but it's still a bit there. Okay. Also issues doing dips right now. I can do some in my shoulder starts. Yeah, so it sounds like a shoulder issue. It does sound like you'd be a candidate for having weak rear delts. If you feel them fatigue really quickly during seated rows or any kind of row movement, you feel them tire out really quickly. They're probably relatively weak or underdeveloped. They can be weak and still be visually developed, so be aware of that. If you're struggling for face pulls, that's a sign that you're weak rear delts. So yeah, I'd recommend doing some direct training for a while. That can be my favorite one is the John Meadows rear delt swings, which I can find a link for later. Ozon can find that for me. Rear delt swings are really good for learning how to feel your rear delts, which is basically lying face down on a incline bench, have light dumbbells in each hand, and literally what it sounds like swing an event up to 50 or so reps. Sounds like stupid thing to do, but it's a really good way to learn how to feel your rear delts, and it will really get you aware of them, how to use them later on.
All right, hi everybody. John Meadows back here at American Barbell in Pickerington, Ohio. And today we're going to hit rear delts. I want to show you.
I think that will be an issue for your shoulder press and your dips because you haven't got it hard to maintain stability around the shoulder. I'd also look at the strength of your mid trap, so again between your shoulder
Meadows
blades.
rear delt swings.
So
now the idea here is that you're actually going to be using a greater weight than what you would normally do your rear delt.
Especially try to keep a pause at the top of the movement really close to your chest. I recommend that make a big difference for stability. You can even do it with things like a TRX or just with a bar for like a body weight row. That's always useful as well. But again, try to hold the top position to really squeeze it, get the contraction, and that should help you build a lot of stability. That will help your pressing, hopefully help your shoulder out.
Perfect, solid answers. Chris, was that the correct video that I sent in the chat though? When you were like, oh, someone.
Yes, it was. Yes, good job. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, talented at Googling. Right. Cool.
Talented at Google. On TV.
Yeah, props for being a developer. Right? Is that your code? Maybe. Anyway, does anybody have any other questions? Feel free to ask questions, guys. If we've missed anyone, if there's anything you want to clarify, any updates you want to give, anything you want to talk about, as long as it's not the debate. I'm not American. I tried to watch it. It was kind of cringe. I'm not gonna lie.
Kind of cringe, not gonna lie.
Yeah. I was thinking our politics is messed up, but yeah, good luck, guys. Right. Right. Cool. I'll go to text-based questions in the server. Right. Let me see if I can find.
Posted the question in forums. Link it here, then, Raju, so I can see it. I'm not searching through the forums for it, I'm afraid. I can do that if you want, but I'm not going to search through it for.
Okay. Could you just quickly link it? Just as I was praised. Is it the following a new workout plan message? While I get that, I think Rin just asked a question, Chris. And guys, if you want to come up to the panel, feel free to raise your hand. You can come up to the stage and ask a question.
Okay. I do higher reps recently because I want to improve my form rather than power through the exercises. Okay. That's absolutely fine to work on your form for a bit. Good idea. Everyone should probably do that once in a while. If I do low reps, the form is awful, but it feels good. If I do high reps, I just fatigue faster, and in general, 15 reps feels wrong. Okay. Being consistent lifting for almost 1.5 years straight. What to do in such a situation? Okay. So it sounds like it's more of a weight issue rather than a high versus low rep issue. Because regardless of the rep range, you should be lifting under control and should be approaching failure or hitting failure on the last rep. So it seems like you got a dichotomy in your head that it needs to be super heavy to do low reps. So what I'd suggest doing really in your situation is if you want to do low reps, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with doing 15 reps if you want to, though it is quite inefficient in some ways. Some people enjoy that, and that's absolutely fine. You can still build muscle that way. That's fine. in your situation, I would start doing your low rep sets with your high rep weight. So say you're doing bench press for 60 kilos for 15 reps, and you normally do 80 kilos for 6. Start using 60 kilos for 6 reps, and then slowly build up from there, maintaining form. So keep it easy. It will feel abnormal because you're doing easy weight for now, but if you can maintain that form, maintain strictness, you'll be able to do low reps with very good form as well. You shouldn't have to pick between high weight and having good form. You should always have good form as a priority. Do as I say, not as I do. Cool, you're welcome, man. You're very welcome. Hope that helps.
Yeah, the real question is, did you win and what game was it? If it's Elder Rings, I don't want to hear about it. If it's League of Legends, I want to hear about it. If it's Fortnite, just leave the server. If it's Minecraft, just self-ban. If it's Roblox, just report yourself. What other games are there? What, it was
Overwatch.
Minecraft. Well, you know
Overwatch.
what to do now. Self-ban. Right, cool. I did have a question in mind, but I got distracted. I don't even have ADHD. Oh yeah, it was Radu's question. I've linked it in the chat. Does the link work for you?
I see you, Radu. And no question, no worries about the English at all. Speaking any languages other than your own is amazing. So no problem at all.
Yeah, being able to speak two is amazing.
Ridiculous. Hello, I didn't go to gym for about 2 weeks as I had final exam season. I want to follow a new style. As I started to see why I'm not growing anymore. I even used more weight and still nothing new. I tried to go more for failure, and I usually do, and still nothing. Hope that you can recommend me any type of training. And another question: how do I know if I ever trained? Okay, so overtraining is a bit of a odd term. People say it doesn't exist, but sometimes it does. So if you're overly fatigued, if your weights aren't going up anymore, you're feeling overly tired in the gym and outside of the gym, and if you've got low motivation, same as if it sounds like you're overtraining and you need a bit of a deload. So having a week off or 2 for exams would be great. I'm not really sure what to offer you for a new style of training. You can look at something completely new, such as like a high volume training. You could try high frequency training, but all the principles are going to be the same. So if you want something new, I'd just say pick a new rep range. So if you're normally doing sets of 5, try doing sets of 10. If you try and do sets of 10, maybe do sets of 5 or do sets of 20. Just mix it up. Give yourself a new reference point and basically try to get rid of any old concepts you have for weights for any movement. So that could also recommend. So I'd also recommend changing from, say, a barbell movement to a machine, just to give you a different reference point. I know that you should know that the weight you're not using isn't important, but progress is, and then that will transfer back to the previous exercises. I usually do sets to failure or more than 10. Okay, that's fine. So maybe if you do, and how many sets do you tend to do? If you do, say, 3 sets, you can maybe try doing 1 balls out set to failure. See how that feels for a bit. You could try doing 5 sets, just something a bit different. Instead of doing sets of 10, you could maybe aim for sets of 5 and try to get really strong on that. Try to build up some strength there, and then transfer back to sets of 10 afterwards. Basically, anything that shifts it up and gives you a new focus, a new thing to put your energy into, will be a good change for you. Hey, typing again. I love when people ask a question, then stay to answer the follow-up questions. It's great.
Yeah, I think Radu joins the podcast almost every week. I think I need a bot for this. I need to have a way to be tracking consistency. Maybe I would like roles and stuff like that.
At least need a scoreboard for it. Oh, he's kind of mentioned that, and he's got. Oh no, he's back. He's back. Man's back. Oh, shout out to Coach Torres here in numbers. Thank you for being here, guys. Really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who stayed to the very end. Well, not really the very end yet, but all the way through. Really do appreciate it.
Not over yet. It's not over yet.
I love how everyone's waiting for Radu to finish his...
I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm just going for my food. It's fine.
I did see someone type in. Was it Datsu? Someone else was typing.
It was.
If you do have a question, if you do want to come up to the panel, if you got your mic, don't be shy. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and ask your question.
Radu's followed up as well. Well, as I'm young, I don't want to go into big weights as I know my body's not prepared for that kind of weight. Okay, so we're not talking about going to massive jumps, but just slowly increasing it. So if you don't want to do lower reps associated with higher weight, then you can do higher reps instead. So rather doing sets of 10 or so, work up to 20, just something that's a bit different. It doesn't have to be And again, weight is relative as well, so don't worry about it too much. Your body, if you build into it, your body will be resilient. You've got a year and a half of training, so you've got a bit of resilience there, I think. Looking forward to your question, Tatsu. Lobster, what are you working on lately? Working on my food currently. No. No, I'm doing much more with my mental health group, which is really great. Hopefully do some that AO at some point. It'd be good.
Yeah, sure. Feel free to let people know about the group and what you guys have been doing. Chris has been doing amazing stuff with charity.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to plug it. So I'm a part of Alpha Dogs, which is a men's mental health in gaming organization. So we do a lot of outreach. We do lots of stuff. We've been at the recent DreamHack. We're going to a few more Loot Fest as well. And working with a few charities there. We're really invested in men's mental health. We believe everyone should have someone to talk to. No one should be on their own. And gaming, people get very lonely. There's lots of mental health issues in gaming. So if you want someone to talk to, that's the best place to be. We do fortnightly get-togethers. We have chats. We do game nights. We have support sessions where you can just go talk, or you can just come and listen, just where you know you're not alone. So anyone here wants to have a look into that, drop me a message. I'm happy to invite you guys over. But we're trying to do big things to improve mental health in gaming and for men in particular. Women are also welcome. We've got the Lunar Dogs part, so we have a women's wing as well, and they're always welcome in everything. That's our focus, to improve mental health in gaming.
Absolutely lovely.
Thank you for the chance to plug that. I appreciate that.
No worries, dude. No worries. If you guys ever want to, host a workshop on the server as well, everything works. You win, I win. I think Datsu's got a question.
Sure. Datsu, can't talk. Sorry, no problem at all. Of course, as a coach, don't you get bored to explain the same question every time? How long term? I wonder if you're not bored. I don't know. No, it's sometimes you get the same question. That's absolutely fine, because I get to help someone else. I look at it as a way to outreach, give people a chance to explain things differently. And sometimes I find myself doing the same content as other people, but I just keep in mind that sometimes someone can say something in a certain way that will click with you and make it work. Like, I've heard things before that don't make sense at all, that I've heard someone explain it in a certain way and all falls into place and it makes sense. So when I see that happen, that just encourages me even more. So no, it's not boring. It also makes me work on my articulation and learn how to explain things better as well. Link of the organization. Can I put a link here for you guys? Drop me a message, I think.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And also huge thanks to Chris. Guys, remember, it's not strike force. It's not strike first.
I swear.
It is strength first. Feel free to check out Chris on his platform, SDR first. Sorry, I even butchered it. And yeah, and also make sure to support him as he supports us within the community. I see someone has raised their hand, and Chris, feel free to post that link. And also happy Men's Mental Health Month. I think most of the people here are guys and ladies. They do have a lady group as well. Don't want to get in trouble. Don't cancel me. Eternal, are you still there? Hello. Yo, dude, how are you doing?
Good, man. I'm doing alright, man. I got a question. Can the gym help me get a girl back that broke my heart?
Do you want the answer you want to hear, or the true answer?
Just give me the true answer.
Oh wait, Eternal, I remember you.
We remember Eternal. Remember.
Oh no! Oh no! How you doing, dude? Before we answer that question, how you doing, dude? How's it been?
Bro, I've been sad, man. I miss my girl. I miss my wife, bro.
Oh,
I miss my wife, man. Will the gym help me get her back? Will they help me get her back?
It will help you develop yourself into a better man, and that can help you become a better partner, which can help you get her back in theory. Yes, it can give you the tools better equipped.
Man, I don't care about becoming a better man. I just want her back, man. That girl's like my lifeline, bro. She's my lifeline. She was everything, man. And now she's gone. She went. Like, now she's dating a guy that's better looking, and he has a better physique than me. Like, what can I do at this point, man?
What I would say, okay, so good advice, potentially good advice. If she's, and this is like the sad pill or the truth pill to swallow. if she's leaving you for someone because of their physique, right, and it's more
Oh man, she
carnal,
cheated on me.
yeah, and if she's cheating on you, then there is no longevity in that, and it's not really going to be a good relationship. Even if you are in your best possible version of yourself that you could ever be, and it's the type of person that will leave you just for trying to, monkey branch to someone else, it's not really someone you want to be with, right? What I would say, rather than trying to chase butterflies, make sure you have a garden, and then you'll be able to attract butterflies, and then you pick the best that wants you for who you are, right? And it's one of those things, and that's a great part of self-improvement, that you then build the confidence to be able to walk into a room and you know where you stand, rather than being in a relationship where someone could leave you potentially because a better option has come across. The best type of relationship is, even though a better option could come across, that person still stays with the person that they like because they love them, and then there's a good rapport with that person. You don't want to be in a situation where you are going to be having these like mental breakdowns because you feel inadequate, you feel like you need to go to the gym, you feel like you need to make improvements, and all these nonsensical things because someone has left you because they don't appreciate you for the value that you bring to them. So what I'll say, dude, and I know it's something that's going to happen, early on, young adult age and teenage age, you're going to go through a lot of breakups. And I wouldn't necessarily say the gym is a good way to. You do not want to be working on yourself to please other people. The purpose of self-improvement is to be able to improve yourself, to be able to be the best version of yourself. Because once you're the best version of yourself, you can navigate through life and doors open easier. And I know you're probably going to be going through the venting process. And don't flame me because I remember the last time we had a discussion.
She's the only girl I want, man. She's the only girl I want, bro.
Yeah.
There ain't no other butterfly. She's the only butterfly I want, bro. That's the only butterfly I want. Have you seen her colors, bro? Bro, oh my god.
Yeah,
I ain't been eating properly, man, because of her, man. She fucked me over, man.
Yeah, don't worry. That's the stages of heartbreak. Yeah, like I would say, these things don't get easier. You just have to get better at life, and get better at like relationships and handling rejections and all these type of things. And once you're the best version of yourself, you will be so confident that if someone leaves you, you'll be able to be like, okay, cool, they don't value me for who I am. I'll be able to just walk out into the world and find someone else that can value me. And if she's doing that, if you ask yourself that question, really, if it's someone who's leaving you for a better option, is it someone you really want to be with? Like, if it doesn't happen today, maybe next week, maybe next year, they potentially would do the same thing. So it's better for you to know earlier on rather than prolonging a relationship that's doomed for failure eventually. So what I would say, dude, is I appreciate the question. I'm happy that you joined the podcast again. Do you have any other question that's fitness related?
Does it have to be fitness related? Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Wait. Okay. This is a good one. Should I? Because I'm currently, so I'm 5'6". I'm 5'6". Yeah. I mean, I think you already know this. I'm 5'6", and I'm still overweight.
We know.
It's like, what? Bro, don't height shame, man.
No, he's joking.
Oh my!
Joking.
He's doing this again. What do you mean I'm 5'6"? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
What
are you trying to? No, you're trying to mock me.
No.
You're trying to mock me. What? Why are you trying to mock me? Okay, so what from 5'6", man?
Chris,
I can still outbench you, bro. So what from 5'6"? It doesn't matter from 5'6". I don't matter from 5'6", man.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. You're right.
It doesn't matter, mate.
Okay, thank you.
No, Chris just remembers the whole incident. He's being a provocateur. He's trying to get the reaction. Don't give him the benefit of the doubt.
Thank you.
Finish your question, mate. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I'm 5'6", and I'm currently 90 kg. And I'm just trying my best to like cut right now because I want to get skinny and lean and all that. But it's just It's just hard. I just don't lose weight. I'm short too. I'm 6'4". What? Yeah. So like, do I starve myself or something? I just eat protein to lose weight. So I just want to get lean as fast as I can.
Yeah, fair enough. Don't starve yourself, obviously. Prioritize protein in your diet. and then work on calorie density. So low density foods, so very filling foods for low calories, which could be greens, could be fruits, vegetables. Then eat your carbs afterwards, just so you fill up on proteins and vegetables, then carbs at the end. That's the best way to effortlessly lose weight, as well as make sure you're strength training 4 times a week, and some slow, steady state cardio if you've got time for it as well. That's the best way to lean yourself down without being painful and struggling. I'd recommend.
Okay. All right. Thank you, man. Oh yeah.
Wait,
man. One more question. Sorry.
Yeah,
one more
sure,
question.
mate. Go ahead.
Is it okay? Can the gym help like with height growth or no?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah. It was lovely talking to you, mate.
What do you mean sorry? So what? so what if I can't grow taller? What do you mean sorry? What do you mean sorry?
Sorry, it's not the answer. Sorry, it's not the answer you'd like.
Okay, alright, my bad. My bad. Sorry.
All good, man. Thank you for tuning in.
I gotta step down.
Eternal, thank you very much. Like I said, if you ever want to join on like random podcasts just to hang, you're very entertaining. Really do appreciate it, dude. Also sorry to hear about the outbreak. I'm not gonna lie.
It's fine.
Around your age, it's common. I remember my first outbreak like it was yesterday. That shit hits hard. The best thing to do is just keep your mind busy, surround yourself with people who appreciate you, and over time you get over it. And if she's done it to you, you should do it to other guys. So don't worry about it. Thanks for joining, mate. Really do appreciate it. Does anybody else have any other questions? I can see a lot of people being provocateurs.
Any questions?
In the
Actual
chat.
questions.
Yeah, there's some text questions.
By
the way, guys, if you do have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. I can see Army Vet Gaming. Welcome back to the server, dude. It's been a while.
Lily's here. Got 2 million here. Khan had the question.
Man.
Chris had a question for you. What are mistakes you made in the beginning of your fitness journey? Oh God. And how can you avoid these and improve your start to fitness? Okay, good question. I made every mistake in the book. But my biggest mistake was keeping my calories too low for too long. So when I started, I wanted to be super lean and shredded. I was on the Brad Pitt from Fight Club, the Cam Gigante Never Back Down villain vibes. I want to be super, super shredded. So my calories went super, super low. I had protein and basically nothing else. I was on a stupid diet that had me having super low calories 6 days a week with 5 days super low calories. Then I had a intense cheat day on the 6th day because I was following people like Joel Maniello on the cheat your way thin, or basically intermittent fasting with a cheat day in it for whole leptin management, which is bollocks anyway. So I kept that way too low, so I tried to be too lean for too long, and that really held back my muscular growth for a long time. So that's my biggest mistake I made. And my other mistake was avoiding machines out of some sort of think I'm too good for them, think I'm too superior, thinking machines aren't that valuable. Only to be hardcore, you have to live with barbells all the time. Which what happened? I got really good at some pressing movements, got really good at some basic compound movements, but there were gaps in my physique. So my arms weren't very developed, my shoulders weren't developed, my quads were reasonably developed, but they wouldn't have much separation. And my calves weren't very developed either. So avoiding isolation movements and avoiding machines and assistance work out of some sort of vanity or sense of what's hardcore or not. So those are my 2 mistakes. You can avoid those. You'll do much better than I did, much faster. So that was keeping calories too low and avoiding machines and assistance work for far too long. Accessory work. Moving on. Because there's no chill. That's true. That's pretty true.
There's a question about keto.
Oh, I hate keto. Go on then. We've got Millie. Chris, what's your opinion on keto to kickstart weight loss and then go to normal healthy diet after? So do I think you should do an unhealthy diet for a while and then go to a healthy diet afterwards? No, I don't. So keto is a load of. I'm not gonna be rude. Keto can work for some people, but I don't like it. I followed the keto diet before, and it's just really restrictive and boring. And most people who are on keto don't do keto properly anyway. So no, I don't really think you should do that. You can start with a more aggressive diet if you want to, but I'd always recommend having fruits and vegetables in. Any diet that's telling you not to have fruits and vegetables, I think, is kind of dumb, really. So you can start with an aggressive diet if you like, and then add it more moderate afterwards if you want to have a quick initial fat loss. But following to keto to start isn't going to make you lose weight faster. It may make you lose water faster because you're not having carbs. And every gram of carbs draws in something like 3 or 4 grams of water as well. So you'll drop water weight fast on keto, but you're not actually losing fat any faster. You only lose fat at a certain rate, and keto's not going to speed it up. So no, I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you love eating keto, in which case go for it. But in my mind, it's very boring and restrictive. Is that dates of chocolate I'm eating? That is dark chocolate I'm eating, as well as my grapes and cherries. I have finished my kiwi. Ed, what was your question, Ed? I can't find you. Message again, please. Cass, I have a question regarding dieting and mood swings. Does it actually cause changes? Yes, if your calories are super low, you will have mood swings and you will be very irrationally angry. So yeah, dieting can affect your mood. That's why I recommend you make sure you're not starving on a diet. Make sure you have some low density foods such as unfried potatoes. Make sure you have lots of fruits and vegetables so you can eat lots of food, eat lots of volume, have a full stomach. Because the last thing you want to do is trying to be on a calorie deficit, have your stomach empty, stomach growling, trying to get a workout in, just feeling miserable. That's when you get mood swings and you feel horrible. Also happens when you cut all your fats out because your hormones get out of whack. So don't neglect your healthy fats. Where are we? Not that keto, but I've seen people who have good results. Yeah, but anything works for a while, and I don't think keto is a sustainable way going forward. You can try it if you want. It's not what I'd recommend. I support you in your choices.
Yeah.
If you like to do it, go for it.
Yeah. I just say to people though, I know someone's asked me a bunch of stuff concerning like crash diets as well, because obviously summer physique, people going on holidays, all these other stuff. What I say to a lot of people, if and this is weird, right? Outside of like having like a solid diet and nutrition, cardio, I never really think about like how much cardio that I do. But because most of the time if I want to go out and about, I'll just pretty much like cycle. And also at the gym, because I like listening to podcasts and watching movies or shows or whatever, and that's the best time I can catch up on them. I'll just sit on that bike for like God knows how long until the show is over, and it doesn't feel like I'm working out because my brain is too like distracted with whatever show or movie that I'm watching. And that's it. And in this way, you can be relatively lean, and you just keep it up, and it's something you can sustain. All these diets, like I've tried a bunch of diets in the past. I tried OMAD. I've tried the was it carnivore diet. I've tried vegan. I've tried. I don't think I've ever tried keto because I need to eat a lot of fruits, especially throughout the day for glucose. My brain just dies out. So yeah, I'll just say most of them are fads. There's no longevity in it, and I wouldn't really recommend it. By the way, Chris, I found Ed's question. I'll just ping you to it. It is this one.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also thank you very much everyone who's joined. Really do appreciate you all. Also you Eternal, if you want to have a catch up at the end or towards the end of the podcast, I want to get your thoughts on the Biden Trump debate. Although it has nothing to do with this, but I think it might be good to get insight concerning it. Anyway, go ahead, Chris.
Cool. So Ed, give me some bulking meals, please. I'm hitting my fat and protein target, so I'm very short on carbs. Okay, yeah, no worries. Well, any milk. So I'll say this quickly. Whether you're trying to gain weight or lose weight, you should probably be eating similar foods. You should be eating protein, eating nutritious foods such as fruits and vegetables, then carbs and fats, but in different proportions, different portion sizes as well. So if you've already got your fats and protein sorted, you want to add some carbs, like you said. If you're trying to gain weight and you're struggling to get the calories in, go for high density things. So you could go for pasta, you can go for rice, make some sort of paella or something, maybe some sort of chicken and rice standard, but make sure you're getting the fats in as well. For that, no much sugar. Yeah, noodles are great to have. Easy to eat those. Any sorts of pasta. Potatoes are good, but generally you want to add a bit of oil to them, or else they're too low calories to have most of the time for a bulking diet. Don't be afraid to have bread. Any bread's good. Doesn't have to be perfect bread, but sourdough is great. Really tasty as well to have with digestion. Add anything on the side. You don't have to have a whole special meal plan just for bulking. You can add extras, add stuff to the side. Mashed potatoes, easy way to get calories in. Easy to get some extra fats in there as well. Yeah, anything really. Doesn't have to be anything super strict. not doing keto. Good, Millie. Good.
Cool. Does anybody else have any other questions? Guys, feel free to ask the questions. I think there have been a few of you who've been all the way through. Appreciate it. Lobster, Rin. I'm trying to see who's joined from the very start. Cool. Radu.
Is dancing to music counted as a workout? It counts as exercise, yeah. It's exercise for sure. I live in a really hot place and it's kind of chaotic going on out, but I usually dance. So yeah, it's great. Always good to get some sort of, but I would treat that more of a, say, cardio than a strength training workout, unless you've got crazy Dragon Ball Z like weighted stuff on all the time.
Okay, quick question. You're asking about like actual dancing or just going to the club and just pretending to move for a couple of minutes and then I'm just kidding. Yeah. All right, cool. Right, guys, do you have any other questions? Come on, feel free to ask a question. You have a qualified personal trainer who also does Chris, you're gonna have to help me with this word. Is it philanthropy? On the side, with helping men. Okay, happy mental health month.
You've got to work on the phrasing for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll work on that one. But yeah.
Give away with words, away with words.
It's so funny because I'll practice it and then I'll be like, fuck, I butchered it. I'll practice it in my head. I was like, oh gosh, I should have said it. And then I'll be listening to the podcast back as I'm like editing clips. I'm like, oh yeah, I should have said it that way. And then I'll practice it. I don't know. I think it's better when it just rolls off the tongue authentically, but yeah, it is what it is. Cool. Does no one have any questions, guys? Feel free to ask questions.
Also,
okay, I see another
also
question.
cast only counts if it's Blackpink or the Seraphim, just so you know. That's the only way it counts as a workout. That's my rule. No. Okay, we'll allow BTS, that's fine. Kind again, what would you say to people who are worried that lifting heavy would be detrimental to growth? I presume we mean growth as in height. That's been debunked years and years ago. Anytime you lift, so it's not about lifting heavy that will affect your height growth, it's lifting poorly or bad forming injuries. So presuming you're lifting, I guess, supervised if you're a teenager, ideally, at least to start with, as long as you're not lifting weights beyond your range, as long as you're being sensible, not going to failure too often, there is no issue with lifting heavy detrimental to your gains, to your growth, height growth. And also heavy is a very relative term as well, so don't worry about that. And now we're going into hacks for bulking, which is great. I love this. It's working well.
Wait, was that a question? Anyone interrupt? Completely zoned.
No, they're just people just giving advice to each other. It's great.
Oh, okay, nice.
Community going.
Cool. Guys, come on. Any other questions? We have got a couple of minutes left.
I see one.
Okay, go ahead.
I see from Ed. Ed, I'm really sorry. I'm not intending to miss your questions. I'm really sorry.
He's doing it on purpose. He's lying.
The mouth's coming through finally. Okay. What low strain exercises are best for weight gain? I'm too tall to deadlift and my knees ain't great. So how tall are you, Ed? Are you taller than Neo? That's the question. Are you taller than what's on friend?
Don't, Chris, don't. Don't. Stop.
He's 6'4", so is he too tall to deadlift? Is he too tall to deadlift?
No, dude. You're not too tall to deadlift.
Okay, so we're not tall to deadlift.
You're literally just around the same height as like Eddie Hall. And
I was going to say, the best deadlift.
And the mountain, the mountain is like 6'8". Is it 6'8"?
I mean, preposterous, yeah.
But yeah, he's like 6'8" or something like that. And he deadlifted 500 kg. So you're not too tall to deadlift.
So you're not too tall. Your form will have to adjust for it. Ideally, get someone to look at it in person, but a wider stance generally is better for a taller person, just to get under it. You're moving about 5 miles further than I am. But the question was low strain exercises best for weight gain. I'm not really sure what you mean by low strain. But if you've got bad knees and you're worried about the height for that, I would probably go quite heavily into machine exercises. So rather than a deadlift, don't want to, you could work up your back with a seated row or something, lat pull downs, and then work your hamstrings with a hamstring curl, something like that. Ideally, you'll get some sort of hinging in, so like a Romanian deadlift. You can do that with dumbbells instead, or you can do pull throughs with a cable machine set to the lowest point. You pull through there. So there are ways around it, but for low strain, I recommend machines or cables generally. Just can get more support. You can work the muscle more exactly, and you don't have to worry about supporting muscles, which you do for compounds like free weights and squats, for example. So yeah, go heavy into machines and cables if you're worried about strain. How important is sleep? Sleep is very important for everyone. If you think you get by on 6 hours sleep, that's only because your brain isn't working enough, and you can think that you're doing well when you're not really. Getting sleep is incredibly important. Everyone needs at least 7 hours of sleep, ideally 8 or 9. If you're a teenager, 9 to 10 is really ideal. So stop dancing so late at night and get some sleep. Yeah, sleep is very important. Most times, one of the first questions I ask when someone's telling me they're making progress or their workouts aren't going well, I say, well, how's your sleep? So sleep is very important.
Yeah.
And cap being...
So for all of you guys
16,
who are like doing, all-nighters on games or whatever, sleep, get some rest. And also huge thanks to Cap. Really do appreciate it, dude. Thanks for answering all the questions in the text chat and helping with the support side of things with the podcast. Cool. That is coming up towards an hour. I'm going to give an opportunity for people to ask any questions. Lightning round. Go ahead, ask your questions if you do have any other questions. If not, use this time to please support. I was going to, wrong copy and paste. Use this time to please support Chris on all platforms. This podcast has been streamed. Well, it's still streaming. Feel free to watch the VOD. I'll post the links out wherever. Also make sure to follow me on Twitch and follow us on follow us on our Instagram and YouTube. We're getting close to
and Reddit.
20, and Reddit. Oh, actually, good stats off the top of my head. Almost 500 followers on Reddit, so around 670 whatever. Almost 23k followers on Instagram, so like 22.6 or whatever. Twitter, I can't get into Twitter. Every time I try to post something organic and authentic, it's always like a thread of like nonsensical stuff. Twitch, just getting that started. So getting close to 250 followers. So currently in 240. Follow, really do appreciate it, and thank you very much. What have I messed up? The YouTube, the VOD page on the YouTube, that's getting there. I don't know that off the top of my head. I don't know about TikTok off the top of my head either. But yeah, really do appreciate it, guys. Cool. I don't have anything else to say. I'm getting sick of the sound of my own voice. And also make sure to follow Chris on Twitter and all platforms. Cool. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much, Cap. And thank you for everyone who stayed up to the very end. Eternal, I'll just invite you quickly. Do you have anything else you want to say? What's your thoughts on the Biden-Trump debate? Are you still here? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh no, he joined on 1. Hey, dude.
What?
I said, what's your thoughts on the Joe Biden versus Trump debate? Did you watch it? No.
There's a debate going on. No, I'm not.
Don't worry about it. No, it's cool. It's cool. Perfect. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Really do hope you all have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.